Coach Prime, Deion Sanders admits that he interviewed for not just one, but three other jobs. We're going to talk about it right after the bumper. Stay tuned. What's good people? My name is JeffLightsYJr here with the Black Boss channel and Victory Formation. Thank you guys for tuning in. Be sure to hit that thumbs up button, like, share, subscribe, and the notification bell because we upload every single day. Now, Coach Prime, Deion Sanders, he's got JSU rolling. So much so that they're doing things in a new kind of way down at JSU when it comes to scheduling, when it comes to new games, new classics, whether the old classics they're going to play in, etc., etc. But that's all due to the power that their head coach is Coach Prime. Their head coach is Deion Sanders. Their head coach is able to move and shake and is a chess player, is not a checkers player. But one of the things that was a big deal during the season, during the 2021 season, was the TCU head coaching opening. TCU knew that they were moving off Gary Patterson. Gary Patterson and TCU was splitting ways. TCU is located in Fort Worth, Texas, Dallas metro area, Metro Dallas. Coach Prime lives in the Dallas-Fort Worth metro area, and there just was so many signs that Coach Prime, Deion Sanders, would be interested. Not that he would take the job, but would be interested in the TCU job. And, of course, all the JSU fans, because you guys know, us JSU fans, because I'm a JSU fan too, us JSU fans, we love our Coach Prime. We don't want our Coach Prime going anywhere. We need our Coach Prime because Coach Prime has taken us to heights that we've never seen. Coach Prime has gotten us the notoriety and the notability that we've never had. Coach Prime has put our program in a position that we're the privileged kids now. We're no longer, down in the dumps. We're no longer the laughing stock. We're no longer all those things that we were for a long time at JSU. Us fans are. Now we're privileged. Now we're, spoiled rotten. Now we got a silver spoon from Coach Prime. And when the rumors came out that Coach Prime had interviewed for TCU, us fans came on and jumped on top of it. Now, I never really spoke about the rumors, I don't think. I think I was like, if he said he didn't interview for it, he didn't interview for it. That's all we can take the man at his word. And we understood that he was battling having those foot issues. He was having severe foot problems at this time. And he said, how can I interview for a job if I'm battling this foot problem? Now, there were some reporters out here sticking to their sources. They're like, my sources said he interviewed for the job. I don't care what he says. My sources say he interviewed for the job. Now, I wasn't one of those people because I didn't have any sources on this. So I kind of just left it alone. I was like, if he said he didn't interview for it, and then he didn't, whatever. But now his tune is changing. Now, he doesn't say TCU specific, but Coach Prime confirms to the world that he did interview for not one, but three Power 5 jobs since he's been at Jackson State. He doesn't give a timeline, but he allows us to know that he interviewed for three Power 5 jobs since he's been at Jackson State. We're going to take a look at this clip that is provided to us by the Dan Le Batard Show. Now, this is on the Dan Le Batard Show's Twitter account, and this is Coach Prime speaking about interviewing for different jobs. Let me go ahead and let me minimize this a little bit just so we won't trigger off any algorithms. Fair use, but this is the Dan Le Batard Show, and this is Coach Prime speaking about other openings.
To be that guy and live up to those expectations.
Deion, I know you love it at JSU, but did you have to start there? Like, were you ever offered an NFL coaching job?
No, definitely not. I was offered, I interviewed for, I think, 3 Power 5 jobs. And I should have got them. I was very good, if I may say, in the interviews. And I balled. I mean, one of the interviews, I was so darn good. The guy asked me, could I start? When could I start? At the conclusion of the interview, I'm not lying. When can you really start? And I told him when it was possible, and they went in another direction. I wasn't upset. That just means that God needed me to continue to be at Jackson State.
What's the end game?
God needed me to continue to be at Jackson State. So at the beginning of that, you're like, Jeff, he just said, like, the guy asked him, did you have to start at Jackson State? Did you interview anywhere else? And he says, I had 3 other interviews. And that time it's like, okay, we don't know when he had these interviews. But then he said, the guy asked me when I could start. I told him when. And he said, they can't do it. So God needed me to continue to be at Jackson State. So that lets us know that he had these interviews while he has been at Jackson State. He's only been at Jackson State a year, people. He's only, by his own admission, he's only been at Jackson State. He was hired in what? September of what? 2020? September of 2020 was when it was announced he was hired. He said he didn't get on the job until January of 2021. They obviously started the spring season in March of 2021. And so therefore, he's only been on the job since January 2021. We're only in February 2022. So in a year span, he's interviewed for at least 3 Power 5 jobs. People, I'm here to tell you, I'm not to be the one of bad news because I am a Jackson State fan. And as your resident Jackson State fan, this isn't good. This is not good. And here's why I say it's not good. Because Jackson State is just scratching the surface of what I think that they could be. I have been adamant on this show. You guys, for the JSU fans like myself, have asked, when do you think Coach Prime, do you think Coach Prime is really going to leave us? When do you think Coach Prime is going to leave? And then you have the non-JSU fans like, I don't know why y'all getting so hyped. He's not going to be there forever. He's not going to be there a very long time at all. And so my theory on this whole thing has always been, I don't think Coach Prime leaves before Shedeur leaves. That has been my thing. I've never closed the door on him never leaving Jackson State, albeit he says he was called by God to be at Jackson State. That doesn't mean he was called by God to be like W.C. Gordon or Eddie Robinson. He was called by God. He's there. He's there right now. He's done some things that the program has never done before, including getting the number 1 player in the country, getting new practice fields, new game fields, all kinds of stuff, new jerseys, etc., etc. A newfound life for HBCU football. He's done all of that. All of that in 1 year span. He's done all of that. But that doesn't mean he wants to be there 5 years. That doesn't mean he wants to be there 10 years, 5 years, 3 years. None of that, all that stuff, he's already done. He's already done it. And I've been on wax saying there's nothing that he could do at a Power 5 job that can even compare to what he's already done in 1 year's time at Jackson State or for HBCU sports, period. Specifically HBCU football and the SWAC. There's nothing that he could do at a TCU, at a Florida State. I've been on wax saying that. There's nothing. He could win 10 national championships. That doesn't compare to the newfound energy that he's breathed into HBCU football. Nothing. I mean, it's just amazing what he's been able to do in 1 year span. But hearing that he's already taken 3 Power 5 interviews, hearing that he was already offered 1 Power 5 job, and just the timing wasn't right, it's not the best of news. That's just not the best of news. And I come to tell you guys the truth. I call it how I see it. Coach Prime is an amazing coach. Coach Prime has done some amazing things at Jackson State. But taking 3 Power 5 interviews, being offered a Power 5 job, you don't think that stuff is just going to stop, do you? You don't think with continued success, these Power 5 schools are just going to say, oh, look at Deion down there winning all those games, winning all those SWAC championships, potentially celebration bowls or whatever, and we're just going to leave him alone. And bringing all these high-level recruits, we're just going to leave him alone. No, that's not how it works. See, recruiting is the lifeblood of college football. And Coach Prime's already proven that he can get high-level recruits to come to Jackson State. So what do you think he could do at a Florida State? What do you think he could do at a Miami? What do you think he could do at a Power 5 school? That's how they look at it, with their resources, with their ability to hire a bigger staff, with their luxury of playing in a state potentially like a Florida or a California or, a rich state with rich prospects, Texas or whatever, as compared to playing in a Mississippi, which has some good talent, but not the same as like a Florida or Texas or California. And we know this. And so these are the things that they're looking at. And the notoriety that having a Deion Sanders as your head coach brings to your program. All the cameras that flock to that. All the people that talk about it that come on board. All the newfound fans that you get. Like myself in Jackson State. So these are things that they're taking into account. And I'm not saying Coach Prime is going to leave you guys tomorrow. It's going to leave, not you guys, going to leave us tomorrow. I'm not saying that at all. I'm just saying that the possibility is a lot greater than even I thought. The possibility of him leaving even before Shedeur leaves is greater than even I thought. Now, I still don't believe that he's going to leave before Shedeur. I do not believe that Coach Prime will get his quarterback, which happens to be his son, and the number one player in the country to come to Jackson State, and he doesn't stay at least 4 years. I just don't see that. I don't. I could, but these interviews, the fact that he's already had 3, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know. I do not know. That's all I'm saying. I do not know. And it doesn't in the long run. I mean, personally, I don't think it bodes well for Jackson State keeping Coach Prime for a very, very long time. Now Jeff, and some people will say, well, Jeff, we're Jackson State. We're just going to get a new coach and we're going to keep this thing rolling. It's not how it works. That is not how it works. Now, don't get me wrong. The Jackson State job moving forward is a lot more attractive than it was pre-Deion Sanders. The Jackson State job post-Deion Sanders is a lot more sexy than it was pre-Deion Sanders. Say what you want. Say, hey, we've been fans. We was selling out stadiums and doing all this stuff before Deion Sanders. That is true. But he's you know what I mean? Yesterday's price, not today's price. He's elevated your program, whether you like it or not. It's just the truth. He has elevated the program. And so therefore, you can't guarantee that the next coach is going to be a home run hire, even if it's a guy off his staff, even if it's Coach Flea, even if it's Coach Dennis Thurman, even if it's, you promote the new guy, Brett Bartoloni or whoever. There's no guarantee it's going to be a home run rock star like Deion Sanders, like Coach Prime, even if you pick a dude off his staff. So we'll have to see, man. We will have to see. Him interviewing for those three Power 5 jobs, I was surprised to hear that because he was so adamant. He was so adamant that he did not interview for that TCU job. And guys that I know were so adamant that he did. Kind of looks like he did now. Even though he didn't say TCU specifically, he said 3 jobs. And a lot of people like to think they're sources and say the TCU was one of them. Leave your thoughts in the comments. Once again, my name is JeffLightsyJr with the Black Boss channel and Victory Formation. You can follow me on Twitter where we start these conversations at JLightsy7 and Instagram at JLightsy7. Hit that thumbs up button before you leave. Thank you guys for tuning in, and I will see you next time. Peace.